If you're considering buying an executive, semi-luxury electric car, your mind probably goes to Tesla and the Model Y. What if I told you there's an alternative? You could have something with a better interior, something perhaps a bit better on the exterior, something with better performance. What if I told you this is an MG? This is the MG IM6. It's an all-new SUV badged, not like a conventional MG. This is the IM, Intelligence in Motion logo. But it's being sold under the MG banner in the UK. And it's got quite a funky looking to it. It's got this sort of like angry teeth going on like a pumpkin down here. We've got this built-in lower splitter that sort of curves round. It's got a really, really low coefficient of friction, just 0.246. We've got these LED lights that flick up here. We've got these little LED markers, 4 on each side, which look quite cool, I think. And they've got a little sort of honeycomb. When you look in the lights, you've got this little honeycomb detail in there as well. Got some fog lights down here, projector headlamps, and a very slippery body. Moving around, we've got these massive 21-inch alloy wheels, which you can see these orangey red calipers through. Continental brakes, they've got 4-pot calipers on the front and Brembo discs, so the stopping power is just as good as the actual motor power on this. We've got cameras here and here. In fact, there's 9 cameras in this vehicle and they all play out on the dashboard, and I'll show you that in a bit more detail later in the video. We've got pop-out door handles like you'd expect to find on a Range Rover. Just put your hand in there, the glass drops down and the door opens. Frameless glass as well, and it's got double glazing all around the vehicle, which means it's really nicely sound deadened and soundproof when you're inside the car. Tinted glass as standard, panoramic roof as standard, double glazed again. Pirelli tyres on this as standard as well. So Pirelli P0 tyres, which is good because when you hear the performance of this, you'll be glad that you've got the big brakes and the good tyres. Moving around here, we've got the charge flap, which is powered on the IM6, and that gives you access to your AC charger and also your DC rapid charging. This thing can charge up to 396 kilowatts. We'll test that out. We'll take it to a rapid charger and show you that. And then moving around the back here, we've got this lovely ducktail spoiler built into the rear hatch. Looks so much like the Aston Martin DBX, and that's not a bad thing. We've got this IM logo essentially here. That part of the logo is the boot release. You can also do a kick under the boot if you've got the key in your pocket, and that'll open the boot as well. IM6, it says here, MG, just so you remember it's part of the same group. In fact, if we look inside the boot, powered tailgate is standard on this model. We've got 665 litres of boot space. This is absolutely massive. In fact, all the way in, you can fit 2 people in here. And not only that, under this boot floor here, there's another huge storage space. So for like muddy boots and things like that, it's lined, you can chuck stuff in there. To be honest, I reckon you could fill that with ice and use it as a beer bucket if you're going away for a bit of a party and a barbecue by the beach. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. We've got so much going on. We've got this 28-inch widescreen display which fills 2/3 of the dashboard. You've got your driver display up here, you've got access to your maps and that sort of thing here. It's also a touchscreen here, but most of the controls are done in the central 10-inch display down here. One thing where you're winning over the Tesla Model Y is you've got this display in front of the driver, so you can see your speed, you can see everything going without having to look down. You've got everything up here. We've got a steering wheel which looks very similar to ones you find in Tesla. They've got a couple of thumb wheels on here which move sideways and up and down and scroll and press in as well. This up here is your drive mode, forwards, reverse, drive or park on the end of that stalk. We've got speaker, 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 speaker. You've got 20 speakers in this car. And it's a constant hall sound. It sounds amazing. There's loads of adjustment we can do with that. You can change all the equalizer levels and stuff. It's crazy. Wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay as standard. You've also got access to apps like Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Amazon Music. All that is built into here as well. And there are going to be further apps that you can download as well, like Waze and so on. This dashboard, let's talk about the dash. Yeah, so the whole thing is sort of encased in this soft leather-like material all the way around. And that, you know, with nice stitching and everything, and it just feels really nicely finished. We've got a wireless charger here, which is cooled, it's ventilated, it blows cold air on your phone so it doesn't overheat, so that's good. A couple of cup holders here. Under this armrest, we've got a USB-C and a micro SD card slot. explain about that later in the video. It's actually got air conditioning in here as well, so you can keep your drinks cool. This armrest can slide forward to cover the cup holders if you don't use your cup holders, and that gives you a bit of a longer armrest. We've got air vents here, which when we're using the climate control, you basically just tap on the dashboard which way you want the airflow to go, and it adjusts the fins and everything accordingly. We've got so much stuff in the screen, I'm going to have to break it down into little sections and show you, because I can't just talk about it all now. We've got ambient lighting around here. 256 shades of ambient lighting, varying brightness. You can have it on breathe mode, you can have it so it reacts to music when you're playing it, anything you could possibly think of. No door handles on here. We've got these little push buttons, which is kind of similar to what you might see on a Tesla. There is quite possibly the smallest little rear view mirror here ever. You can also display the rear view on the screen there. So actually, most of the time, I think you might just want to fold it up out of the way unless you're wanting to look at kids in the back. The panoramic roof is huge and it's standard across all models. We've got, well, these are a bit like we get in the Cyberster, little illumination that comes on quite softly around there. We haven't got a glove box on this car, but we do have a massive amount of storage down here under the centre tunnel. So there's loads of storage down there, including a 12-volt socket in the centre there. The seats are heated and ventilated in the front. They've got a heated steering wheel. We've also got a massage function on the seats as well. We've got a choice of two interior colours. We've got either this, which is the sort of dark grey, or there's also what they're calling white, but realistically it's more of a sort of ivory, almost cream, which actually I really like, and if I was choosing this car for myself, I'd probably choose the lighter interior because I think it brightens the whole thing up. The seat materials are not leather, they're vegan friendly, but they are very nicely finished, and we've got lovely stitching, lovely quilting, and really nice and soft to touch, perforated as well so they don't get too sweaty. We've also got the ability to extend your leg rest forwards on both the driver and passenger. Literally, I think MG has taken what can we possibly put in a car and then added a few things that you didn't even think of as well. So it's got everything you could possibly imagine and some more. The driver's seat is set for me, I'm 5'11", and as you can see in the back, I've got so much room. I've got like 8-9 inches of leg room here. My feet can go under the seat in front if they wanted to, but they don't necessarily need to. Again, we've got the same sort of perforated pleather material used here, which is, it feels quite nice actually to touch. Again, we've got another couple of speakers here, electric windows, tinted glass as standard. We've got ISOFIX in both the outer seats. On the inner seat, no. It can, however, still fit, oh yeah, an adult with plenty of space, plenty of headroom. I've got 2 inches of headroom above me in the centre seat. And the outside seat, yeah, I've got 2.5–3 inches of headroom, so plenty of headroom space for adults in the back. The centre armrest folds down the whole sort of middle seat area really. You've got 2 cup holders here with like a pen or oddment storage. The whole back seat can be adjusted, so it's a 60-40 split. If you move the handle here, then you can recline it further, or you can have it more upright, and same with this side as well. These rear seats are heated too, all controlled through that screen in the front. We've got air vents down here, we've got a USB-C socket down the bottom, we've got IM mag place on the back of the seat here and here. And this pan roof really opens up the top and this makes it feel a lot more airy in here. There's something we can show you with the driver's seat. Let's jump back into the front and show you that. Picture the scene. You've done a long trip, you're tired, you want to just get your head down for a few minutes in the services. You want to have a nap. There's a nap mode. Press nap on here, make sure there's no passengers or people behind the seat, and then the screens go dark. You've got a choice of sea rime, misty mountains, or quiet night. There's an interior display that goes on. So there we go. Laid back, rain playing on the stereo. You've got this beautiful tree, and it's just a way of, oh, and the massage seat's on as well, so it's just currently massaging my back very nicely.
3 hours later.
Now that I've had good rest, let's talk about some of the other cool features on this. For example, the car key that looks like a car. But not only that, you also get a card, which you can just tap on there to open or lock the car. It's got air suspension. The air suspension can go up by up to 20mm for off-road, sort of, you know, rough roads and things, so you don't catch the bottom of the car. It can also drop by up to 50mm for easy access, and when you're at high speeds as well on the motorway. It does that automatically. We've got buttons in the boots here, so we can adjust the boot height to make it easier to load things in, or make it higher or lower for that purpose, which you can drop the button there. The air suspension will go down. Also, if you get a tow bar fitted to this, it can tow up to 1.5 tons. So you could have it drop down so that you can get your tow ball over, and then you can raise it back up to just position the tow ball directly under the coupling. Again, really handy feature. Under the bonnet, we've got 32 litre storage area, perfect for putting things like your tyre repair kit or charging cable, things like that. So fits under here, leaves the boot space for everything else you need for the family. So what's it like actually out on the road? Well, the IM6 is very easy to place. It's a big car. I mean, it's bigger than a Tesla Model Y. It's close to the Model X in size, but it's really sort of quite nimble. It's got this rear wheel steering, which really helps around twisty corners. At low speeds, the wheels turn the opposite way to the front so that you get a sharper corner. On a faster road, it'll make them turn the same way as the front so that you get both sides effectively turning with you, and that really helps as well. So it's overall it's really, really clever, and you get a lot of power obviously through these dual motors. Comfort mode we're in driving at the moment, and it's not one pedal driving, you just have to press the brake, but the regen braking that you get is good. But there are different stages of regen that we can choose on here, so low, medium or high. One thing I quite like with this air suspension is as you come to a stop, it'll actually use the air suspension to stop the front pitching down, so it makes it a lot smoother when you come into a halt. Again, with the air suspension, it gives a nice comfortable ride, even on these quite bumpy little country roads. Bearing in mind we have got 21-inch wheels on this launch edition car as well, which is obviously got a much smaller sidewall. It's still lovely and comfortable. It's a really nice ride. The performance, well, I mean, it's wet. This car's done 42 miles since it was brand new. I'm not going to test all 742 brake horsepower on a road like this, but suffice to say, when I took it around Millbrook, I was very pleasantly surprised. Took it on the Alpine course there, took it on the high-speed bowl. This is a top speed of 166 miles an hour. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Performance is not lacking. I had it to 130 miles an hour on the bowl. The only reason I wouldn't go faster is because the car in front was limited to 130 miles an hour. This would have happily kept on pulling all the way up to 166, which is phenomenal top speed for any car, let alone an electric car, which typically, because they've only got one gear, tend to have a lower top speed. So this all-wheel drive performance version has got 742 brake horsepower. It'll do 0 to 62 miles an hour in just 3.5 seconds. What does that feel like? Well, let's try it. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Yep, that'll do it. 742 brake horsepower, more than enough. The IM6 is available with a 100 kilowatt hour battery as standard, and it's available with a choice of 2 drivetrains. You can either get rear wheel drive, 300 kilowatt, that's about 404 brake horsepower, electric motor driving the rear wheels, or if you want to go for this one, then you get the all wheel drive, and that's got 742 brake horsepower because it uses the front motor together with the rear motor to give you 557 kilowatts of power. If you just go for the rear wheel drive model, then it's got a range of up to 388 miles WLTP. And 400 brake horsepower is plenty, to be honest, but if you go for this with 742 brake horsepower, then the range drops slightly to 313 miles WLTP. Still quite a lot, and more than my bladder can hold out, to be perfectly honest. So when you've got the IM6, it's got the 100 kilowatt hour battery, and that gives you up to 396 kilowatts rapid charging speed. Now, these energy chargers here at Darwin Services are only limited to 350. We're currently seeing 345 kilowatts on here. That means it's, as it says, it'll charge at over 1,000 miles per hour. So we started with 9% in the battery, we're already up to 24%, and it says 16 minutes left to get to 80%. So it really is really rapid charging, and it's not even enough time for me to go across to the services, buy a coffee and come back. It'll be already finished by the time I do that. So that's one of the party pieces of this, is this has not only got 396 kilowatt charging, so as faster and faster chargers get installed, it can take advantage of that. Even on these 350 kilowatt chargers, it maxes those out, and it still means you get about 18 minutes from 10 to 80%. Enough to add 250 miles in less than 20 minutes. It's fantastic. The MG IM6 has got some really cool radar and camera technology. It's got 9 cameras, as I've said, and they can work to show you blind spots and things. So when you indicate, it shows you what's behind this pillar, basically. Your blind spot monitoring, as well as having a little orange telltale on the wing mirrors, also shows on the side of the dashboard on either side. So if you've got something in your blind spot on that side, it comes up on the far end. But the radar system also shows on this display in front of us all of the cars that are moving around. So you've got a real confidence that the car is seeing what you're seeing. So at the moment it can see motorcyclists different to a truck, different to a car. If you're pedestrians, it shows them as well. If there's traffic cones on the road, it picks up each traffic cone on there as well. So with this radar system, it also gives the ability to speed adjust your cruise control, so adaptive cruises, we've had it in other MGs. And it's got lane keep assist, so it keeps you centred in the lane. It's also got a lane change assist, so if you indicate, then it will take over and make sure that it's clear before it actually allows it to steer into the lane next to you. Rainy night mode is a feature that we got in the MG IM6, which basically uses the radar control together with the cameras and with the dashboard display to give you the most help possible when it's a really heavy rainy night and you can't see very well through the windows and windscreen wipers are on full whack. This brings up displays on the screen to use the cameras to augment your vision so you don't have the A-pillars getting in the way. It also tracks pedestrians on the screen here, so you can see them being, and again it will brake automatically if it senses that you're about to run somebody over by accident. Automatically puts on the demister on the windscreen as well. So it brings all these things together to make sure that you've got the best possible vision out. And even if you can't see out the windscreen, it shows you on the dash what you're missing. Like other MG products, the MG IM6 is compatible with the MG iSmart app. So when you turn the car on and you first get into it, it will ask you to scan a QR code on the dashboard here, and that will then bind your phone to this car. And that gives you access to things like remotely setting the climate control, checking the charge status, checking how much range is currently in the car. You can set charging timers, you can set heated seats come on, you can lock and unlock the car remotely. The MG displays are really customizable. You can actually choose a whole lot of different themes, backgrounds, colours. There's 4 different settings it has, both in light mode and dark mode, so you can have it choose which one you want, or you can have it so it automatically switches with the headlights if you like. It's got a welcome mode on the car as well, so if you turn the car on, it can flash the headlights, and there's 3 different modes in which it can bring on the LED daytime running lights in sequence and flash the headlights and so on. It's got a self-parking feature. We just press the park button on here and we drive along until we see a parking slot. Now there's lots of parking space here and they're all numbered in this case, so we actually can just pick one and it goes quite quickly and we're in the space. If we want to pull out the space, just click on the pull out button down here. We'll make it tricky and say we want it to turn right, but obviously it's got to miss the back of this car here. Yeah, so we're going to press start. Make sure there's no obstacles and people walking around. That's fine. So it's turned a little bit to the left and then it goes to the right so that it avoids the back of that car. And it's pulled out of space for us. So imagine, if you will, you're driving along through a car park, you're trying to find a space. Is that a space at the end? No, it's not. It's blocked off. I can't get through this way. Now you could just reverse back the way you came, but this can do it for you. So if you click reverse, then it says it can reverse up to 249 feet. Press the brake and click to start. I'm pressing the brake, press start, and now if I take the foot off the brake, it's going to reverse back on exactly the same path as I just brought it in on. It's recorded how I've been steering. So it's going to take me back along exactly the same path. So this is really cool. So it means that if you imagine like down a dark country lane, really narrow, and you just don't feel you can't turn around, you don't fancy reversing yourself, it'll actually just reverse you back the path you came. Because it's got 4-wheel steering, the front wheels and the rear wheels can turn opposite directions, or they can turn the same direction and do what's called crab mode. Now, I'm struggling to think of why this might be useful, unless perhaps you're parallel parking and you realise you're a bit far from the curb, but you can pull in a bit closer by having all the wheels turned that way. Maybe that might work for you. Press this picture of a little crab up here, and then it brings on this display here where it shows you the angle of the wheels, and the rear wheels can turn up to 6 degrees, left or right. The front wheels can turn more than that, but obviously if the front wheels turn more than the rear wheels, you're not going to get the crab mode properly. So this IM mag is a magnet. There's one on the back of each front seat, there's one on the dashboard, there's one in the boot. There's going to be a series of accessories that can fit on here, things like mobile phone or tablet mounts for the back of the seats, so people can stand and watch the screens there. Tables that fit on here as well. These accessories are coming after launch, so keep your eye out on the MG IM website. So what about the price? Well, the MG IM6 starts from just $47,995. That gets you the 100 kilowatt hour battery, rear wheel drive, range of 388 miles. If you want to go for the all-wheel drive performance with 742 brake horsepower and WLTP range of 313 miles, that's £3,000 extra at $50,995. If you go for this, the launch edition, which has air suspension, it's £2,000 on top, so you're looking at £52,995. I think that's a phenomenal price for something with this level of performance. I hope you agree. If you'd like to test drive it, get in touch with your local MG dealer. They have the cars available to test drive now. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, thank you very much. Like the video, it really helps us out. We've got to put the IM5, which is a sort of saloony hatchback version of this, against the new Tesla Model 3. That video is going to be live in the next couple of weeks. Subscribe to our channel and you get to see that video as soon as it goes live. Click down here to see the link once we've made that live. Click up here for more information about the MG IM6 on our website. And if you click down here, you can see the video review we did recently of the MG S5.